Revelation 2552. From the 15th of November 1942. Activity of the beings in the beyond. Transferring the knowledge. The spiritual eye recognizes the processes in the spiritual kingdom and can therefore also see the being's activity. Thus it can gain an overview of the activity of these beings, which extends to Earth as well as to the creations outside of Earth. But only rarely does the human being on Earth have the ability to see with spiritual eyes, because a high degree of maturity is required for this. And that is why people usually have a completely wrong idea of the beyond, of the kingdom which is outside of Earth and receives the souls of those who have ended their earthly life. And because their knowledge is deficient, they form a wrong idea. For the knowing person is aware that the spiritual kingdom also makes demands on its inhabitants, only the activity is different from that on Earth. And as soon as he would be able to see spiritually, he would also be able to see the nature of the activity and be able to explain to his fellow human beings in an understandable way what the activity of the beings in the beyond consists of. But divine love nevertheless wants to inform people of it. It wants to impart knowledge to them which should contribute to eager activity of love on Earth. For this activity in the beyond is likewise an extremely active activity of love. The spiritual kingdom shelters more or less God-connected and God-distant beings which live a life full of light or without light in eternity. They are beings which constantly enjoy bliss or live a pitiful life in most agonizing poverty. And the spiritual being full of light seeks to change the latter state in order to likewise lead the beings of darkness to the state of happiness. And this project requires an extremely active activity, a constant labor of love in untiring patience and perseverance. Activity as on Earth is out of the question, because the spiritual kingdom is not a material world, it is only a world of thoughts and desires. It is a spiritual world where nothing physical, visible or tangible exists, but everything only exists in the being's world of thoughts, and the thought in turn is the embodiment of the love power from God flowing towards the being. It is a rich knowledge which the beings possess, whose abundance of light testifies to the union with God. And this knowledge also constitutes the being's state of happiness, because through knowledge everything is bright, light and clear. The state of darkness is therefore a state of ignorance, which depresses the being inconceivably, so that this takes pity on the being full of light and it wants to assist the being of darkness. On Earth the loving human being alleviates his fellow human beings' hardship with earthly gifts. In the beyond such gifts are no longer possible, and thus only spiritual gifts can be offered to the being which is in hardship, which suffers through lack of knowledge. Thus only mental transmission can take place, and this is the activity of the beings in the beyond, that they seek to increase the thought material of the beings without light and guide it into such channels that this thought material corresponds to truth. And this can only happen through constant teaching, through the transmission of that which gives pleasure to the giving being itself. By passing on divine strength to the completely powerless beings which desire strength. Amen.